Wellington Hutt Valley Gaelic Football and Hurling Association, a thriving club at the heart of Wellington's Irish community. Today, our club has over 100 players and members taking part in Ireland's national games and local, national and international competitions, as well as, and most importantly, a vibrant social scene. However, the development of our beloved pastime in Aotearoa, New Zealand didn't just happen overnight. To trace the story of Gaelic games in the world's southernmost capital city, we have to go all the way back to the 19th century.
Wellington became the centre for the Irish in New Zealand over Labour weekend. The occasion was the National Festival, which has become a regular feature of Irish national life in New Zealand. Irishmen from Auckland, Christchurch, Timaru and Wellington met to compete in hurling, Gaelic football and oratory. Of the two games played this week, Gaelic football and hurling, the latter is by far the older. It's been played for many centuries and is one of the toughest games in the world. To make a comparison with more widely known games, hurling could be called the Irish brand of hockey, while Gaelic football is perhaps an Irish equivalent of association football. Pat Earnshaw spoke to some members of the teams here last weekend, and he asked them first about hurling.
Well, hurling is, in a way, it's very hard to compare with any other game, because hockey is something similar, but hurling is played with 15 aside, and with a different stick. The stick is made of Irish ash, and it's especially important in New Zealand.
Harder than the normal hockey stick?
I wouldn't say it's harder, it'd be softer, but there's a spring with a different shape.
I see. It doesn't bend quite so much at the end like a hockey stick. It doesn't go on the curve.
No. Yes, but there's a broader blade.
Broader blade.
More or less a broader blade, yeah.
And camogie is the women's version of hurling, am I right in saying that, Miss Tian?
Yes, that's right.
And how many play that?
15.
Same size field?
No, smaller. But sometimes if we're going to go straight on before the boys, we have to play the same pitch.
And is there must be a difference, seeing there's a difference in name. What is the difference in the sport?
Well, with the girls, well, amongst the New Zealand girls anyway, I couldn't say with the Irish girls, but it's slower and there's more groundwork. There's not so much in the air, although we have 2 Irish girls playing which brings it up a bit, but mostly it's down around about the ground.
And at the moment it's played principally by New Zealand girls, is it?
Yes, in Wellington there's only 2 girls playing. One of them has played a lot at home. Auckland has quite a few. There again, the girls have played quite a lot at home. And in Christchurch, I think there's all New Zealand girls.
Oh, that's a very healthy sign. And then there's a lot of air work with the ball. You keep it in the air quite a lot.
Yes, you're allowed to catch it and swing the stick any way you like. You're allowed to kick it, but you can't run any more than 3 steps with the ball in your hand.
I see. I heard a story once, you know, that when a game of hurling was about to start, there was no ball around, but that didn't seem to worry them. They just said, carry on, why worry about the ball? Is that so?
No, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
show you a few of the quick skills.
Okay.
So we've got Matty and Jeremy here. Jeremy's
Hello.
famous for being the only man never to win a game of football. But maybe the boys will show you soloing. So every 4 steps, you have to take a solo.
Oh, so you can kick it to yourself?
Yeah, you can't run all over the field. You have to kick it to yourself or bounce it.
Right.
Do you pass it like in rugby?
And then in passing it, I'll just get the boys to show you that. You can't throw the ball. You have to sort of fist pass.
Like in Aussie rules.
Yeah, like in Aussie rules. And then the final thing, which Matt will show you, our arch exponent, is picking up the ball. You can't pick it up off the ground. You have to flick it up. So it's a free the other way. If
Can we see him tackling him?
Oh yeah.
So you are at a good bit of buffet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Day 1 of the State Games had a blustery start, but the organisers did a brilliant job to get everything in place for teams from all over Australia and New Zealand. All codes were on show with a record 650 players. There was camogie, there was minor championship football, and for the very first time, ladies football and hurling teams, all the way from Wellington, New Zealand.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we've never had 3 teams take on the Australasians before, and particularly with the hurlers as well, to join up with the Christchurch lads. And there's a great kind of spirit in New Zealand where all the clubs kind of help each other out, which is great. Over the last kind of 18 months or so, we've just had a really, really big influx of people that are really keen to give it a go. Not just people that have played before and played at home. We've got people who wouldn't even know what a Gaelic ball looks like. So for us, it's about kind of team spirit, and we're really a big bunch of friends that's come over here to give it a go. We've really worked really, really hard, particularly in the last kind of 8 to 10 months.
Welcome to Wellington for the Australasia Championships, hosted in New Zealand for the first time since 1997. And like everywhere else in the world, the GAA is spreading here to new areas. Overall, day 1 was a success for the organisers, especially after recent weather threatened to wipe out the championships.
Yeah, we came out here last Friday morning to meet the council just to have a look at the pitches, and they were thinking of lining them. There was actually a sheet of water and about 50 ducks we counted at the last count. They were just swimming by us, so we didn't even put a foot on the pitch. We were hoping for fine weather over the weekend, and luckily enough it delivered, and as you can see the pitch is pretty rock hard today, so incredibly lucky. We had plan Bs, but there were really plan Zs, so we're really, really lucky to get here, and with the amount of international visitors, it's actually gone really well.
And what does that say about your determination to host this and to do it well here in New Zealand?
Yeah, we've been looking to host these games for a lot of years. It was 1997 when we hosted it the last time. We got flooded that year, so we really didn't want the same to happen, but it was looking like that. But we've had a core group here of 5, 6, 7 people that have really put in 12, 18 months effort. They've probably haven't seen their wives or husbands or partners, all year. But to get here today and get the first day of games over is absolutely awesome, and we're over the moon with that.
The men's competition saw Wellington in green take on the big boys from New South Wales and give them a decent game before losing by 5 points. The winners go on to play Victoria in the semi-finals, and the hosts have their pride very much intact after a brave performance.
Yeah, well, New South Wales are one of the big players in this tournament, and Queensland we played yesterday, our first match, and we weren't really up to the intensity of the tackling they brought. We didn't have time on the ball, so we decided amongst ourselves this morning that these 2 matches today against New South Wales and South Australia, we're going to up our intensity in the tackling, make sure get rid of the ball quickly and not bring the ball into contact. And it showed today. We only got beat by 5 points, whereas yesterday we got beat by 18. And so we've done very well today. We're a small club playing against a team with the size of New South Wales, and we really put it up to them. And it was a very good performance, I think.
And you obviously want to put on a show as the host team.
Yes, of course. Yeah. This is in front of our own fans. Yeah. But we're small Wellington. We're known as the wee friendly club in this side of the world. But we try to show today that we're not that friendly. We'll put a few tackles in, and you aren't going to come away with an easy win.
And you got a goal there all the way back, maybe from the likes of Armagh, maybe an Oisin McConville, Stephen McDonald, or maybe closer to home, maybe a Ronnie Clark.
Well, maybe Ronan Clark's the other club in the city. Maybe not. Maybe Joe Quigley or one of the boys in my club, Johnny Corvin, maybe. But it's good to get on the end of things. They didn't have to do a whole lot of running to score free kicks and score goals. That's okay at my age now.
Bananas unite! Peel banana, peel bananas, peel banana, peel.
Wellington ladies proved that it's not all about winning trophies. They went bananas after winning their first ever game in the competition with an extra time goal.
Even just to win a match in the Australasians is our biggest goal. We've been training for 6 months, and I think that match there just shows how far Gaelic has come in New Zealand. They are our derby, but they're our friends as well. We get on quite well with them, we train with them or play against them every couple of months, but just to win a match is the best feeling ever. For the girls here who have trained, who have set up the pitches, who have been in the kitchen working, who have got organisation with accommodation and everything for people, it's just the best feeling ever. But it's just great to get GAA out there in New Zealand. It's forever growing. Our club is forever growing. Canterbury has 3 teams now, Auckland, and we have teams in Waikato and Hamilton. And we're just hopeful that we can get more and more girls and guys playing. The bigger the community, the better.